Hello, it's Friday, February 5th. I'm Jason Stanton. I serve as senior pastor at First Lutheran in Onalaska. This is my morning musing for today. We're on day 19 of our 21-day racial equity challenge. And I was reminded today, I know a couple of the assignments for the challenges, a couple of them have been TED Talks. And I just want to put a plug in for TED Talks that if you don't subscribe to TED Talks already, boy, are they worth your time. You learn about, things like racial equity, but also engineering and creativity and just all kinds of things that just maybe spark your interest in your own field of interest. But today, the idea is how to overcome our bias. Walk boldly toward them, says Verna Myers, and she encourages work vigorously to counterbalance bias by connecting with and learning about and learning from the groups we fear. The part of us that crosses to the other side of the street or locks our doors when we see that kind of person or clutches our purse, she said, these are her words, that the stuff that fuels the worst incidents is in each of us. And so the example she gave was Ferguson, Missouri. You could add in unfortunately, a lot of different events in that blank line there, like Ferguson, Missouri. But those big events that expose bias and racism, whether it be systemic or personal, her point is all that stuff is in each one of us when we don't look directly at a certain kind of person or cross the street or clutch our purse or lock our door. And so she gives three. I always appreciate when someone gives three ideas. Reform our images of young Black men by doing three things. Here's what she suggests. Number one, get out of denial. Stop trying to be good people. She was saying, as a person who teaches about racial equity, she'll hear, "We're glad you're here, but we're not biased." And her point is, yes, we are. All of us. Not just yes, you are, but yes, we are. Don't deny it. And then she gave this great story about how she was on a plane. She heard a female voice come over as the pilot and was like, "Yeah, women rule. Women are ascending into these places of power." And then there was some bumpiness on the flight, and she noticed herself wonder, can this woman fly the plane? Her default is to have a guy in the cockpit. Why? That's work she needs to do for herself, obviously, but she calls it an implicit association, and she actually lifts up an implicit association test that shows our defaults. White people are the default for the vast majority of people in the United States. Positive goes along with white most easily. And so her point is, don't be colorblind. Look into color and look at the awesome Black men who are among us. Reset your automatic associations of who Black men are, because too often our associations are criminal or the imaginary. Look at the people who you're aware of, whether it's a celebrity or someone in your life who are positive. Associate Black men with that. Okay, so that was the first one, get out of denial. The second one is move toward young Black men instead of away from them. What does that mean exactly? Well, she says, expand your professional and social circles. Get to know Black people. You're going to be uncomfortable before you get comfortable. And so she said, a lot of white people will say, you don't know how awkward I am to try to move out of my comfortable social circles with the kinds of people that I know are going to be safe. Well, you're going to be uncomfortable before you get comfortable. And we do need everyone to get comfortable. You'll see, she says, they are actually like you. And that's how they become one of us. And that's how community gets built. And that's how we stand up for each other, is by moving toward young Black men instead of away from them, which keeps them a them. And number 3, when we see something, we have to have the courage to say something. The example she gives here is even when Grandma or Uncle Jimmy or whoever, when they say something racist, we can't just put our head down, plug our nose, and just be like, well, I won't say anything like that. She's suggesting we need to say something because kids are listening. And this is how bigotry and racism get passed from generation to generation. We may not choose to believe certain things that Grandma or Uncle Jimmy say out loud, but if we allow them to say it out loud without checking them, it's permission for that to not only be said, but believed. So I thought those were 3 really good suggestions. Get out of denial, move toward Black men, not away from them, and when we hear or see something, we need to say something. It's all in an effort to love our neighbor as we keep faith alive.